super nervous. And I don't want any pity laughs, but if I start crying, I'll do what you have to do, okay? Okay, this wasn't even part of an act, but yesterday I was watching Facebook, and I don't know if you guys follow Urbancast on Facebook. We get a lot more news on there than we do on KLB sometimes. And this is a weird way to start a comic set, but y'all know about the body they found on Highway 1?
Yeah.
Okay. They did a little interview with Sheriff Wood, and I'm not picking on Sheriff Wood, this is just really... How many people, first off, came over from Alec tonight? Are y'all feeling safer already? You should. I don't go after dark. I don't do that. Okay. Well, they did an interview with Sheriff Wood, and he stayed on the side of the road, and they're like, Sheriff, can you tell me if it's a male or a female? And I was like, it's going to be a male subject. Okay. Can you tell me the grass cutters, how far off the road they found them? He's going to be about 10, 15 yards off the road, I think. Okay. Is there anything else you can tell us? How long has the body been out there? I'm not going to release that information. Okay. And how much longer are you going to be? Well, it's going to be a while. It's going to take us a while. You know, this is big stuff. So, I don't know. Well, how much longer is the road going to be blocked up? How long are y'all going to be looking at everything? Well, I mean, what is it right now? Lunchtime? We'd probably be out here till 3, 4 o'clock. And I don't know about you guys, but I watched a lot of murder shows. Does it seem like they're giving that stuff the time it deserves? I don't think so. So the point of that is, if you're going to murder anybody, I think Alec is the place to do it. Okay, now on to the show. My name is Charlotte. That's Charlotte with a C and an E instead of an O, like not like Charlotte, but like Charlotte. Unless if you're taking my to-go order, and then my name is Mary. My wonderful husband is here with us tonight. We married very young. I was only 19. He was 25. He was a cradle rocker. We dated for about 3 months, and we decided to get married like most couples decide what they're going to have for dinner that night. He was like, hey, you want to get married? And I was like, I don't have anything else going on. That sounds like a good time, let's do it. So we did it. And I know a lot of people are tonight. I have a lot of support. Thank you guys, all my friends and family that came out to support me. And most of you guys know that we have kind of a sad story. I mean, we just never wanted kids. We just thought, you know, we wanted the life where you can travel and you can do with your money what you want. You can, you know, have a good time, experience the world, grow together, learn and love and laugh and shit. Well, we ended up with 4 kids. None of them were planned. They all know this, so even if you're recording it for Facebook, they already know. We told them. None of them were planned. Well, it kind of disturbed number 2, so we just pulled her to the side and said, we're just kidding. You're the only one we really wanted and planned for. And that made her happy, so that's what we went with. Sorry, Caitlin, if you're watching this now. So I have 2 UTI antibiotic babies. And if any of you young girls don't get that joke, see me right after the show. And I have a oh shit, I forgot my pills, and I went for the weekend in New Orleans with my husband, baby. And so I got my tubes tied, and 12 months and 12 days later, I had my miracle grow baby. So, of course, you know, that means we ended up with 0 of that fun shit I was talking about earlier. No money, no time, no travel, none of that. That's the sad part of the story. It is not a good time, and I do not recommend it. Wait, anybody here have a new baby at home? Anybody? Oh, it's gonna be fine. My husband and I have spent our entire adulthood trying to figure out why the hell God gave us 4 kids and what we're supposed to do with them. I had a pre-K kid and a senior in high school at the same time. I had kids spread out all over Rapides Parish. And I kept a full-time job. And I had to, every day, it was just wondering who is supposed to be where, with who, with what paperwork, and how much money. That's a summary of like my whole 20 to 35 was who needed what and when and where. And then most of the time on my lunch break, I was driving around getting the forms out of the wrong backpack and bringing it to the right school and putting it in the right backpack. So, yeah, it's some bullshit. Those kids sucked every bit of my soul out of my body. It's like, I've got like dust rolling around there. In fact, I might be the oldest 49-year-old woman you've ever met because of that. My hobbies are gardening and cooking. I'm basically one bolted yarn and a big word search away from 80 years old. And I like them. That's the bad part. You think once they get to be older and you're going to be done with them, now I will like them. They don't even like me anymore. And I'm still worried about them and making sure they're okay and waiting on phone calls and making phone calls. And they don't take phone calls. So you have to text them. And then they sleep all day. It's just awful. So I'm so old. Very good. You guys have done this before. That's good. I am what the medical community calls a fall risk. And my medical provider is here tonight. She can attest to that. Thank you, Tina. And I have fallen quite a few times in the past couple of years. You don't see it coming. You think the ground's right there. It's not fucking there. I'll tell you how you know you're old. If you're not old and you fall, people laugh. It's real funny. But if you're old and you fall, people call 911. And your kids, like every time you get out of a chair for the next 3 or 4 days, they're like grabbing your arm and walking you around the house like you needed their help. It's humiliating. I don't know if you guys watch the news, but the pandemic is over.
Yay!
So we made it. It's done. For now. The pandemic did some stuff to me. I was working, everything, running around crazy, the grind, complaining about everything all the time, like everybody does. And then everything came to a halt, and I got sent home to work. And we thought it was going to be for 3 weeks, and we thought, this is cool. I went and bought some board games and shit, and we made some bonfires in the backyard, and we watched the movies, and 3 weeks turned into 3 months, and it was like, holy shit. Like, I gotta feed these people 3 times a day. They don't ever go to school anymore. This is our life now? Okay, by month 6, the only time you would see me if you happen to be standing in my front yard when my pale face would look through the blinds and squint at the sun to see if the groceries had been delivered yet. And I didn't go out. I was scared to death. I mean, I don't know if you remember how scary it was at the beginning, but every day they were pumping out new death numbers. I mean, that's not something you want to hear. I was supposed to be teaching my kids math and shit. The only thing I did was call out death numbers to them every day. But I know when I hit rock, I don't know if y'all remember exactly how scary it was, but I'm going to put this in your head. Remember people visiting with their old people through windows, and they were wrapping old ladies in Visqueen so that they could hug their grandkids? I mean, that shit was heavy. Now it's kind of funny, but back then it was real, So, anyway, I remember when I hit rock bottom, I have a pretty flexible work schedule at home. I have to sign on sometime before 9:30, or I have to call in or whatever. I remember one day I woke up at 10:45 a.m. to the sound of my phone ringing, and it was my kid's therapist calling. Because of course my kids are in therapy. Did y'all hear the first part of my act? go run and get my kid. We're sitting in the bedroom and we're looking at this therapist on this video call. And she kept saying, do y'all have anything else y'all want to talk about? And we were just kind of sitting there like, no, not really. And then at some point it dawned on me, my lights weren't off. My lights were off. Like, I didn't pay the bill. Like, apparently I just decided I don't have to pay bills when the world is ending. So if you guys are looking for a bookkeeper for your apocalypse dream team, I'm not your girl, okay? It's not gonna happen. But I did learn some things during the apocalypse / pandemic. I learned how to cook. My husband cooked all the way up until then. Thank you. We tried the HelloFresh bullshit for a little while, and then we tried the emails bullshit for a little while, and then I got tired of reading directions, and I made up my own diet. It's the Fife diet. Have you guys heard of that? Well, it's an acronym. It's FIFE. I kind of made it up. It's fuck it, fry everything. And you can go to the grocery store, and you can go to any department, and you can pick up anything. If it was on sale, buy that shit and fry it. And it was good, and we liked it a lot. My best friend told me tonight, she's like, what are you gonna wear? You need to look really cute. And I was like, well, I don't really do cute, you know? Like, I was a grunge girl, and this is sort of my style. I hope I look okay. I tried to find something that I didn't look fat in, but I couldn't because I'm fat. And also my cholesterol is a little high. I don't know if that had anything to do with the Fife diet or not, but could be. But I like to be comfortable. I don't like to stand out. Like the people that have like the bright blue hair and the tattoos and the piercings and all that, that's awesome. Like I'm very, very proud of you guys. I wish I could be you, you know? I'm like, I see you, Zoe, you cool. But I just can't do it myself. But I'm getting older, and if I don't get brave enough to do it soon, I'm never gonna do it, right? And I was thinking the other day, this is the first time my husband's heard this, so I was thinking the other day, like, you know those cute little like scripted sentences they put like up your torso? I was thinking, I'm almost 50. Nobody really sees me naked anymore in the light. I could make one of those, and nobody would even see it except for like the coroner, right? Or Sheriff Wood. And then the coroner could be like, what's the deal with your mom's tattoo? And my kids would be like, my mom does not have a tattoo. And they would be like, let me see, because you might have the wrong body. And then I'll go back there and look at it, and it would say something like, check the attic. But there's nothing in the attic, I'm just fucking with it. Okay, so what's the secret to being married for 30 years? First of all, get married when you're 19, that gives you a big leg up. Second of all, don't do it during a pandemic, because that is hard as shit. We don't have a huge house. We had 3 kids at home, and my husband and I would retreat to the solitude of our bedroom, which was a self-protective thing and was probably the smartest thing to do. But once we got in there, we realized we were still with each other, and that was kind of shitty sometimes. Because no matter what no matter where I turned or what I was doing, it was right fucking there all the time. So we used to eat at a kitchen table for dinner every night, and we got so sick of each other that we would all fix our plate. Everybody would go to their bedroom and eat, and we thought it's temporary. It's not a big deal. We still do that today. We still do it in our room. We spent so much time in our bedroom that my husband and I, and also because we're old as shit, we ordered the hospital beds, the adjustable beds. We went from a queen-size bed that we slept in together to a king-size adjustable bed, which is basically 2 twin mattresses that are just butted up next to each other, that you have to put 2 separate sets of sheets and covers and all that shit on. So we basically have 2 separate beds now, which is awesome. Because he has to be like invited over. You know what I'm saying? It has to be, I have to give consent and shit. But it's still a little too close. I mean, it's still a lot. So I started constructing little by little a wall between us. Started with just 1 pillow. Then that wasn't, I could still see him. So I put 2 pillows. But I could still see his head, even that, I know he's talking. So now it's like 3 solid pillows. And it's working out great. It sort of muffles the snoring that comes from my side mostly. And I don't have to, I know that I'm not being watched while I sleep. Now all of a sudden I don't like that. I don't know why all of a sudden I didn't think that was happening before. But anyway, we're working it out. And we get along better because when he's getting on my nerves now, I can say, "You're getting on my nerves." And it's like, "Oh, sorry." And we used to be like, "Well, you're getting on my nerves." We did that. We did that so much before the pandemic, and we learned during the pandemic, like, that's getting old. Like, oh, I'm getting on your nerves? Okay, I'll just leave it. That's cool. We had 1 dog and 1 cat before the pandemic, and during the pandemic, we accumulated 2 pandemic dogs, lost a cat, and accumulated another pandemic cat. So now we have 3 dogs and a cat. They're all spoiled. I'm there most of the time. I'm at their beck and call, sort of like I've been for the kids. Every time they need to go out, I'm right there. They don't know any other life. Well, now I have to go to the office 1 day a week, and I'm not really worried about the kids. I try my best not to think about the kids when I'm at work, because it's the only time I have. But I still think about the dogs, and I'm like, I sort of wish my oldest, calmest, most mature, and responsible dog could talk and had a cell phone, and then I could just call him and be like, "How's it going over there?" But then I realized probably it would be a lot like when my kids were smaller and they could call me. And every time I'll go out to take a break, I would have a message. I'd have like 10 messages, and it'd be like, beep. "Hey Mom, it's me, Tucker. When you coming home?" "Okay, bye." Beep. "Hey Mom, it's me, Tucker." I don't know why my dog has a lisp. I don't think he does in real life. I just imagine that he has a lisp. "Hey Mom, it's me, Tucker. Can you bring home some more treats tonight? Because I heard you tell Dad that you were at a TREATS." Meow. "Just kidding, it's me, Tucker. This stupid cat doesn't know how to dial my phone." Beep. "Hey Mom, it's me, Tucker. Jeff's been barking at the birds outside for like 30 minutes. It's giving me a headache. Can you do something about that when you get home? Okay, bye." Beep. "Hey Mom, it's me, Tucker. Your Amazon packages have arrived. Jack lost his shit as per usual. Okay, bye." That's me, you guys. Thank you guys so